Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. Today I'm bringing you a Christmas and birthday book haul, which is so exciting as I've acquired so many brilliant books recently. It's actually my birthday a week or so before Christmas, and so around this time of year I always get loads and loads and loads of great books. I both receive books from my family and friends and also get book tokens quite a lot at this time of year, which is like my favourite thing to receive as a present. So in this video I'm going to talk you through a lot of the books that I've received from people, but also books that I've already gone out and bought myself with my book tokens. So I've got quite a range of what I think are brilliant books in this video, and I'm really excited to show you all. So like I said, it was my birthday not so long ago and I received quite a lot of book tokens for my birthday, which was really exciting, and I went out pretty much straight away and I've already bought myself a bunch of books, and so I'm going to talk you through the books I've bought myself first. So the first book was top of my list to buy myself and it is absolutely beautiful, and it is A Poem for Every Day of the Year, edited by Ali Asirai. So this book is, like it says on the front, a poem for every day of the year. So there are 365 poems throughout this book and they all correlate to a day of the year. But not only is there a poem for each day of the year, there's also a little description above each poem, kind of giving some background to what the poem's about or why it's appropriate for that time of the year or something like that. So I am wanting to get into reading more poetry in 2018, and I thought this was a brilliant way to do that. It does seem to have a really great range of poets in it from what I've seen, and it's just an absolutely beautiful book. I'm really excited. Hopefully I will be able to read a poem each day and actually do that for the whole year. That's my plan. We'll see how it goes. The next book that I bought myself was Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. I actually don't know much about this book at all, other than I think it's a literary fiction book, and so many of the book reviewers who I follow and trust really liked this book. This book's been getting loads of hype this year, and I know that it won the Goodreads fiction category this year, and so I'm just really excited to get into it. If you've read this book, please let me know. I'm sure you really enjoyed it because loads of people seem to, but this is something that I really want to get around to reading soon. The next book that I got myself was a poetry book, and that is Wild Embers by Nikita Gill. I've seen this poetry collection around a few places and it's been getting really good reviews, and I wasn't actually planning on picking this up, but when I went into the poetry section in Waterstones it caught my eye and I remembered seeing great things about it, so I thought I'd give it a go. The cover is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at that. I believe this is about femininity and empowerment and personal growth, all things I'm really interested in and love to read in poetry, and so I've got really high hopes for this one. The final three books that I bought myself were actually classics. Two of them are in the Penguin English Library Collection editions, which I do collect myself, and they're just ones that I've been wanting to get around to for a while but haven't picked up yet, and so I got around to doing that when I had my book tokens. And the first one is Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy. I've actually started reading this already and I'm really enjoying it. The next one is Howard's End by E.M. Forster. I've been wanting to read more E.M. Forster for a while. I read A Room with a View by E.M. Forster and absolutely loved it. And I did recently just watch the TV adaptation of Howard's End and I really enjoyed the story. So I thought this would be the next best place to go, and I'm really looking forward to getting to this one in 2018. And finally, I picked up for myself I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. I don't really know much about this at all, other than one of my really good friends has read it and reread it this summer and keeps telling me that I should read it, and so I'm excited to get to it. I believe that it explores themes such as coming of age and falling in love for the first time, and I think sibling relationships as well, which are all good things, all things that I love to read about, so hopefully this is going to be great. Next I'm going to talk about three books which I received as a Secret Santa present from one of the girls in my house that I live with at uni, and this might be quite odd because I actually don't know what these books are, but you'll see, it'll make sense when I show you. So what I received as my Secret Santa was actually 3 blind dates with a book, and so if you don't know what blind dates with a book is, it is where you buy a book but they come wrapped like this and they have keywords on the front, and so you pick up the book based on the keywords that might say something about the genre or the topic or the time in which it was written, and then you in theory will pick up a book that you may not have picked up otherwise, or you may read from a new author you've never read from before. So on my note that I received with my presents it says, "To Jazz, for Secret Santa you get to go on 3 blind dates with a book. For when you can't choose what to read, take a chance on a book based only on the 4 clues on the front. Love from your Secret Santa." So the three that I received say on them magical realism, India, classic and religion. Fairy tales, nightmare, bewitching and Russian writer. And Man Booker winner, contemporary, 60s and relationship. So needless to say, I absolutely loved this present. I was so excited when I saw it. I've never actually done a blind date with a book thing before, and I just think it was such a sweet idea, and hopefully I will get some new books that I've never read anything by the author before, so it was a brilliant present. Kat, you did good. So now moving on to the books that I received as presents from my family and friends. The first one was actually a surprise from my mum, and it is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by J.K. Rowling. So I absolutely love Harry Potter. I've read the series so many times, and I've also been rereading them this Christmas with the Jim Kay illustrated editions, which I absolutely love. I love seeing a different person's take on what the magical world looks like, and so this was such a good present as well. It's basically just an encyclopedia and A to Z of all the fantastic beasts there are in the wizarding world, and on each page it has a different creature and a description of them and a picture of them as well, and it also has a rating, like a Ministry of Magic rating of how dangerous they are to humans, which is really, really cool. So this is a beautiful book and a really great gift. It's full of so many beautiful illustrations, and I had so much fun reading it. I read it in like one sitting. One of my favourite illustrations is this one here, which is of a unicorn, and that's basically just quite representative of the whole book. It is absolutely beautiful. Next, from my mum, I received my own copy of Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. This is one of my favourite books. I read it when I was quite young, and I've absolutely loved rereading it ever since, and I've never actually had my own copy. I actually just kind of stole her copy quite a few years ago and kind of adopted it as my own, so she got round to getting me my own for Christmas, which was so nice, and now she can have hers back. This copy is actually particularly beautiful. I hadn't heard of these editions before. They are the Penguin Threads editions, and it looks like it has been sewn. It's absolutely beautiful. That's the front, and on the back as well. So it looks like it's been done with threads by the girls, which is so beautiful. On the inside, it actually looks like the back of what it would look like if it had been sewn, which I just think is so cool and so beautiful. And on the back, it actually has one of my favourite quotes, which is, "I am not afraid of storms, for I am learning to sail my ship." So I'm so grateful that I've actually got my own copy of this now. I will treasure it dearly. And finally, from my mum, I got a stack of poetry, which is really, really brilliant. I do want to get into more poetry, like I've said, and so I thought Christmas would be a great time to ask for some more poetry and add to my collection. And so I did get 4. The first 2 are in the Faber poetry collection editions, which are so beautiful, and I wanted to kind of start my own little Faber collection. So the first one is Emily Berry's Stranger Baby, and I've heard a lot of brilliant things about Emily Berry's writing, and I've never read anything by her before, so I'm excited to get to that one. And the other one is Jack Underwood's Happiness, which I haven't heard so much about, but when I was doing my research, this one kind of stuck out to me. I think it's a fairly new collection. He's quite a new writer, and apparently his voice is meant to be quite fresh and distinctive and quite self-aware as well. So I'm looking forward to getting to that one. I'll be sure to let you know my thoughts when I do. The next poetry collection I'm probably the most excited about, and it is And Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. I've not read anything by Maya Angelou before, but I really do want to get around to reading her memoirs soon. But I'd heard brilliant things about her poetry collections as well, which kind of go alongside her memoirs. She's meant to be really inspirational and really beautiful and lyrical with her writing, and so I'm really, really excited to get to this one. So the final poetry collection I received is Spacecraft by John McCullough. This was recommended by Simon over at Savage Reads, and I really trust his reviews, so I'm looking forward to getting to it. I think it's about being a gay man in 21st century Britain, and I don't have much experience of this or know much about it, so I'm excited to learn more about that. And I think it deals with quite heavy topics as well. I believe the author's first partner died of an AIDS-related illness, so I believe this is going to be quite hard-hitting and emotional, but really educational as well, so I think this is going to be a pretty great one. So the next book I got was a non-fiction book, and I received this from my dad, and it is Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. As it says on the front, this is a brief history of humankind, and I've not read much non-fiction about this kind of topic before. I think it will be quite interesting. You'll have probably seen it around everywhere. It's meant to be very educational but also quite accessible, and so I'm excited to get to it and learn some good stuff from it. The next book I received from my boyfriend, and I'm really excited about this one, and it's a graphic novel, and it is Saga Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. So I've never actually read any graphic novels before, and I think earlier this year I mentioned to my boyfriend that I'd never read anything before and this was meant to be a good one, and I'd seen it floating around and people giving it really good reviews, and he remembered this and he got me it for my birthday, which was a great surprise, and I'm really excited to get to this. Hopefully I like graphic novels. I think I will. I mean, the story sounds like something I'd enjoy. It's sci-fi and it's about two star-crossed lovers who come from different planets, and they're not allowed to be together, but they end up having a baby. I think it's meant to be full of action and romance, and it just sounds brilliant. I'll be sure to let you all know what I think of it when I get round to it. And finally, the book that I received from my boyfriend's mum was Poor Things by Alistair Gray. Likewise to Saga, I mentioned this earlier in the year because I saw a recommendation for it by Jen Campbell over on her channel, and it sounded really interesting to me, but since then I kind of hadn't thought about it, so when it turned up on my birthday it was a brilliant surprise. I believe this is meant to be a cross between Frankenstein and Beauty and the Beast, which immediately just intrigues me because I love all kind of retellings about classical tales and fairy tales, and I think this is meant to be quite dark and quite subversive and kind of questioning a lot of things about the human condition, but also the tropes that we kind of see in traditional fairy tales. That might be completely wrong, but that's the kind of vibe I've got, and I'm really intrigued to read this one. So those were all the books that I received and bought myself for my birthday and Christmas. I'm so excited about all of these books. I think I got such a great selection, and I'm really thankful to everyone who got me anything. I'd love to know what books you all got for Christmas and your birthday, if it was your birthday recently. Please let me know down below what you got, and also if you've read any of the books that I've mentioned, please let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. So that's all for this video. I hope you're all enjoying the after Christmas period and you're all having a really nice relaxing time, and I'll see you all soon with a new video. Bye!